So it's painful. I take screenshots now and I'm like, oh, they could have done this and they could have fixed this. I'm going to write a book one day. I know it. And it's just going to be like, here is how to optimize your profile and fix all the things. It cracks me up. Random, just.
So I'm very excited because I'm here today with Nichole Howson. She helps social media managers scale without burnout because she has experience doing just that as the owner of 𝘰𝘗 Marketing. 𝘰𝘗 helps business owners and brands scale with virtual assistants and social media management. And you're a native of Canada, right? Did I get that right?
I am, yes.
She has a team of VAs with over 7 years of experience. And she stated that she's gone from 2K months to 20K months, which is extremely impressive. She has a passion for mental health, as do I, and she has a really great sense of humor. And I met Nichole through Rachel Peterson's SMU, which I believe has changed both of our lives. So I'm excited and thankful that she agreed to share with us today. So Nichole, with that, can you just share with us your journey as a social media manager and maybe even a little bit before that?
Yeah, so I started my business 7 years ago, like you mentioned. And I actually started because I was going through a mental health recovery and I needed a job I could do from home. So I ended up deciding I was going to take on a client, see what happens. I was going to start school in January and it was about October or September when I started, I guess. And so I put an ad out on Kijiji, which is the Canadian version of Craigslist. And it was like, hey, I'm looking for a client. It was the worst ad I've ever done in my life. It's cringeworthy. It had like a black and white selfie of me and like light pink and gray text. It was so bad. And so I put that out there and I ended up landing my first client 3 weeks later. And they were a fairly decent sized client. They're physically from Canada, but their businesses are in the US and the UK. So it was really cool to have a global client right from the get-go. So we ended up working with them, or I ended up working with them rather. And then I went to school for marketing. And by the time I graduated, I had a few clients and I was like, you know what? Does it make sense to get rid of these clients and work a 9-to-5 somewhere else at an agency? Let's see if I can do this and let's have some fun. So I ended up working at getting more clients and that sort of thing. I grew my business. I hit my first 10K month and then I burned out. I hadn't built my business in the way that was sustainable. I had, I think, one VA at that point, and I was working ridiculous hours. I had an office outside of my home at that point. And it was just, nothing was going as planned. And so I ended up focusing just on client work and not focusing on growing my business. And as I did that, my contracts ran out and I didn't replace them. So I ended up burning out and then losing most of my accounts without any replacements. So I had to restart my business at that point. And that time around, I was like, all right, something's got to change. I made like new rules for myself. Like I don't work past 6 p.m. Every night unless it's like a random interview. I put a huge emphasis on self-care and taking care of myself during this process too. So we have a team of 15 now, and it's going so good. When I was working on a little tiny client.
So how did you build your business the second time around to be more sustainable versus the first time?
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I did was charged more. I realized my worth, and then I was like, all right, I need to not be charging $200 a month for a package that now we would charge $2,000 to $3,000. So I was charging way too less and then not having enough money to be able to outsource to a team at that point. So it just wasn't realistic. I wasn't growing an agency model. I was really just taking in just enough. And I had this big scarcity mindset. I actually just talked about this yesterday and how I was like, I need to take on every single client that comes to me. I need to take every single meeting that comes my way. And then this time around, growing my business, I was like, you know what? I'm really picky about who I work with. I'm gonna vet them. I'm gonna pre-qualify them before I even get on a call with them. And so something really cool and amazing happened. I went from having 20 calls a week and landing maybe 1 to 2 clients every couple of weeks to having 2 or 3 calls a week and landing 1 to 2 people out of those calls. And I was just absolutely amazing how different it was and how much time I am now saving, not on calls with random people that aren't, they weren't looking to buy from me anyway. So it's really cool to kind of be able to do that. And I'm a huge fan of it. And I say this all the time on calls. I don't want to waste your time or my time, or your money. So I'm only going to work with you if it's a good fit. And so I'm really picky in that sense. And if I don't think I can help them, I just don't take them on anymore. And it's been a huge game changer.
That's wonderful. Okay, so this question comes up a lot. What's the difference between a virtual assistant and a social media manager?
Yeah. So social media manager, they are more an expert in social media. They have more of a strategy, usually, not all the time, but they're really well known or like really versed in social media. A virtual assistant can be that. So technically, we would call our team like a social media virtual assistants. We do have a few that are straight up virtual assistants and they schedule things and that sort of thing for us. But we're more social media virtual assistants. But yeah, the difference being a lot of it is how much work goes in on the back end of that. Social media managers are usually more experienced, whereas virtual assistants don't have to be. Not to say they aren't, because I mean, I have 7 years of experience doing social media management, so clearly it is possible. But it's just that change a little bit that way.
So, how does one become a social media virtual assistant?
Having experience in social media is really great. And if you don't have experience, that's fine. Really work on getting as much knowledge as possible. And that's where, Rachel Peterson has been really amazing. And she literally gives her program out for free now. Like, it's just absolutely mind blowing. So doing a program like that, learning everything you can, it's going to be the best way. And then always looking for internships and that sort of thing. If you have no experience, I don't recommend that you work for free for very long, if at all. One of the things we do have an internship program, and we will train them for 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, I will hire them if they were a good fit. And if they're not, I'll explain why, and say, okay, this is what you need to work on. So, and I try to usually do that a little bit ahead of time so they can try to prove themselves a little bit more. So that way they have a job at the end of the internship. But I've been known, one of my full-time VAs, actually, she interned for me for 2 weeks. Then I was like, I need you full-time. So I just hired her flat out. So I hire almost all of my interns if they're good fits. And they work well with the dynamic of my team and everything. So getting that experience and then just taking on opportunities. I don't recommend you fake it till you make it, but like, be honest with where you're at, but push yourself a little bit. You don't have to tell people that you have one client. So just go in, this is what I am, this is what I do, let's do it. I find that really helps.
I love that so much. So this is one of the things that drew me to Nichole, not just her sense of humor and just how kind she is, but I noticed that she hires, and I was like, this lady is hiring all the time. What is going on over there? So as someone who hires a good amount, would someone, well, you touched on that, the internship. So I can go past that. Are there any common mistakes or things you see missing, some missing ingredients you might find when people apply?
Yeah. So one of the things I changed up, because I was hiring all the time, it was just a mess. I was doing so many interviews. I was like, I don't even know if you're a good fit. I'm just going to take a chance. We'll see what happens. And so I ended up talking to somebody else, and she gave some really great advice. So there was a few things that we do. The first is we have an application process, and it's literally like your first interview in a Google form. So we need 5 different graphics that you've created. And so we literally have the whole thing there. So at that point, I can look through and go, okay, these aren't up to par with what I'm looking for. I'm not going to interview them. And then if they are, it's more of a vibe check than it is an interview the second time. It's just like, hey, like, let's get to know each other. I'm going to ask you a few questions that are more interviewee. But for the most part, I'm just getting a feel of whether or not they'd be good for our team. And then if they get past that step, then we do a trial project. And I always pay for trial projects that never require somebody to work for free unless they're in an internship. But we create a trial project with our system, and have them create an hour's worth of content, however much content they can create in an hour. And it's always interesting to see how much content they can come up with, what's the quality of that content, and that sort of thing. So it's been really interesting to watch that. And that's how we hire, and the people we're hiring are good quality. They stick around for a lot longer. And one of the coolest things is our team, they all work with their own businesses, not all of them, but most of them work with their own businesses as well. So when they quit, it's because their business exploded and they don't need me anymore. So it's a really good, like, we cheer them on. We're like, yay, we're so excited. It sucks for us. We're really excited for you. So that's the majority of our turnaround now versus like, oh, this person isn't a good fit. There's always that situation in hiring, but the majority of it is, oh my gosh, they did really great. They grew their business. They're moving on.
So if you understand freelancing and just the industry, just hearing that, you have to know just how amazing what she just said is. I mean, that's just, so my biggest question that came up was, is there a different process for actually applying to work with you versus the internship, or would it be the same process?
It's the same. There is a little in our Google form. It says, yes, I'm interested, but I want an internship. And so with that, when I see that they're looking for an internship, I'm less critical about their copy and their graphics, because I know I can train them. And so that is okay. And so I'm more willing to work with them. And I just lower the notch of how picky I am when I'm hiring.
That makes sense. So as you've heard, Nichole has a lot of experience. She has systems. She has a lot of great stuff going on. So before I transition, what has been the, I guess, biggest value for you when it comes to investing in mentorships in your life and in your business?
Yeah. So obviously Rachel Peterson has been amazing. I'm part of the Social Click now as well. And honestly, game changer for me. One of the biggest things that I learned was to listen to your mentor. When she says, do this, go do it. Don't fight around it for 2 years and then do it. Because amazingly enough, the minute I did what she told me to do 2 years ago, my business exploded. And I was like, oh, could have done that 2 years ago. So learn my lesson. Yeah, listening to your mentor, but then honestly, investing in a mentor is so great. I have a mentor and a business coach that I meet with. And so I have my mentor that does all the social media kind of things, and then a business coach who isn't necessarily, her social media is amazing. She says it isn't, but she does her own social media. I love it. So she knows what she's doing, but she's more of like a confidence coach and a business coach. So I can just be like, this is what I'm dealing with this week. And we chat and we figure things out, and she helps me hold accountable and that sort of thing. So really, really valuable to have those people in your life to show you what to do.
And I wholeheartedly agree. So I recently learned you started your own mentorship program, and based on everything that I've just heard, I mean, I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. So why did you start your own mentorship program?
Yeah. So when I exploded my business, I was literally I would say 18 months ago. So we, our business kind of went from like barely 2K months. I couldn't make a car payment. It was that bad. And I was like, this isn't working. And I sat down and I was like, I'm just going to get a 9 to 5. And I boxed a friend and I was like, I quit. It's just not working. And she was like, Nichole, let's get on a call because I know you and you don't quit. And so we jumped on a call. She's like, listen, I want you to go all in for 1 month and see what happens. all in, blindly trust, just do it. So I did. And amazingly enough, I transitioned over to virtual assistants at the same time. And I loved it. It just fit right with me. It just, everything made sense. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is exactly what I was missing. And so I went all in for 1 month. And then I landed 10 clients in 1 month. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I was missing. And so I grew my business within a few months. I hit my first 10K month. And then this year hit a 20K month. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been working with. So one of the things that happened when I did that was people were like, how'd you do it? Can you show me? Can we jump on a call? And of course I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But I'm also super picky with my time because that's how I grew my business, right? And so I was like, oh, there's got to be a better way. I was saying the exact same things over and over. And I had hemmed and hawed about starting my own membership program. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a membership. That's originally what I was going to do. And so I spent a day several days, but I wrote out the framework and I spent a whole day recording the framework. We built it on the website. And then I was like, I don't want to do a membership right now. I was like, I did all this and now I don't want to do it. My heart's just not in it. I was like, oh, of course it is. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I really want to do a mentoring program. And what if I offer the mentoring program, but I give them the framework for the mentorship as part of that? Because it's the exact same training that I give every single person when I talk to them. I was like, this might be the best thing. Have them do the training and then I can be a mentor to them. I'm careful not to say coach because there's extra rules and things that I have to follow for that. But mentorship resonates with me a little bit more. I love being a mentor. So setting that up has been really great, and being able to like work with people and hear what their struggles are. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally have you. I can totally help with this. I've been there. I've done it. Let's do this. It's been really great.
I think one of the things that's challenging, but I also love about social media management is how fast everything moves. You know,
Mhm.
social changes a lot, but not only that, your business can change so fast. So when you shared with me your mentorship program, this is why we hear so often, share yourself and your journey because people need you, but we don't really take that in. And when you shared that, I was like, Nichole, I needed this like 6 months ago. Where were you 6 months ago? I was going through it. I really was. And 6 months ago, I probably would have clicked the link and just been, but I've grown so much in that time too. So
Yeah.
now I'm at a different point. But when you shared it, I was like, there's other people, they definitely need this. They definitely need it because you do have to struggle through it and figure it out and get to that point where you can have a life where you say, okay, I'm not taking calls on the weekends anymore. I'm not doing stuff after 6 anymore. A client just can't call me whenever they want anymore. So I really just wanted, when you shared your program, I was like, I have to share this with whoever I can. So I'm very excited. If people want to learn more about you or the program or anything at all, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Social media marketing. It's on smmarketing.com/mentorship.
I wanted to ask you to share, what is Defying Shadows?
Ooh, I haven't been asked this in a while. Defying Shadows is a website. It started off with just a blog of me like ranting my mental health stuff. And then I grew a team of people, and we all write blogs about mental health and different things and struggles and our stories and that sort of thing. It's kind of shut down, but it's still there because I wasn't focusing, I wasn't writing for it, and I felt bad having a whole team of people writing every month, and then I wasn't doing my part. So we all kind of put pause on it for a little bit, but I'm never going to take that website down because we have so many people subscribing to it and reading the blogs and sending us their feedback. And I know it's helping people. So it's up there. It's never going away. I will just keep it there. But yeah, it helps people with mental health issues and or people who know people with mental health issues and struggles and that sort of thing.
If you want more of a connection with, I definitely recommend visiting Defying Shadows. Okay, so this last thing, and then I'm gonna let you go, but I have to be able, I'm getting my phone because I have to be able to read it and see the look on your face at the same time.
I'm so scared. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So this came from Nichole, and I think it maybe captures her personality. So I'm going to read this, and then I want to hear the thoughts behind this. Okay. Sometimes I want to swipe right on a guy's profile, not because I want to date him, but because I really do want him to succeed, and I could rewrite his bio.
It's so true. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I'm not even exaggerating. I went on a date with a guy and it didn't work out, and we decided to be friends, and I was like, can I fix your bio so you can find a girlfriend easier? Like, you know, like his pictures, I'm like, can I take photos of you? Because you don't look like that anymore. I don't understand. Guys use like pictures from like 6 years ago, and I'm sorry, but I'm one of those people that believe guys get hotter with time. So why are you using photos of when you look like a baby? I don't understand. So it's painful. I could critique. I take screenshots now and I'm like, oh, they could have done this and they could have fixed this. I'm going to write a book one day. I know it. And it's just going to be like, here is how to optimize your profile and fix all the things. It cracks me up. Random, like, just...
This sounds like a whole new service and a whole new interview.
Right? Just swipe right to everybody and be like, let me help you find a girlfriend. I'm not going to date you, but I will find somebody for you. There we go. I was just going to create my own dating app, and they have to like get approval on there.
That's a service.
There we go.
Well, thank you so much, Nichole. If you want to connect with Nichole, her information will be in the captions or on the screen. Thank you again.